Before I play this video, shout out to Latanya Carlisle on Twitter for tagging me in this post. She actually tags me in quite a few posts, but this one right here really stood out to me. Now, I already watched the video, and some of you may not have seen it, but when I was looking at it, I'm sitting there saying to myself, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened to lead up to this, but I do notice something that sticks out to me like a sore thumb. So I'm gonna let y'all watch it. It's about a minute long.
And the male with camo is throwing rocks at us. We haven't hit yet.
10-9, who's throwing rocks?
Male party with camo, and we've been lacrosse stick is hitting our cruiser.
Authorized arrest, Mike 9 and 10.
Windshield of our cruiser's broken.
Mike 1, are you copying? Just stage your members accordingly.
Okay, so y'all just watched this whole exchange right here. Let me put it right here. So you had these two white guys come up to this police cruiser and just out of nowhere just start attacking the car. You had the one guy with the black sweatshirt on with a black hoodie with a lacrosse stick, literally banging on the door and hitting on the window multiple times. And then you had his buddy right here came up with a rock and threw it at the windshield and cracked it, as you can see it right there. And the other guy with the black hoodie kept hitting the door and kept saying, time to go, bang, time to go, bang, time to go. Like he kept saying it in like almost like a rhythmic tone. And then, but right before they cut the camera off, it looks like more people were starting to come in that direction to continue going in. Now, the police establishment within America loves to claim that black people are the ones that are, the worst people on earth, that, that we apparently to them are the biggest threat. Apparently. I am so glad that videos come out like this. That way we could really dissect the two different Americas that we live in, because there are definitely two different worlds we are in two different paradigms, two different parallels, however you want to spin it. Now, this, to my knowledge, it looks fairly recent. It looks fairly recent. It doesn't look like a very old video, but look at how calm the police were in this video. They didn't do all that rah-rah BS that they do with us when we don't even do an ounce of what they did. We couldn't even get that close to what they did. Like, when I say close, I'm not even talking about assaulting the vehicle. I'm talking about walking up with what could now be deemed as a weapon. Of course, a lacrosse stick is used as a sporting tool, a sporting equipment, but at this point it was used as a weapon. And oh, I forgot at the end, you had this guy who was throwing the rocks, went and got a bat and launched it at the front of the car. But they were so calm when they were calling in for backup. They was like, yeah, we have a problem. We need backup. We have these two guys. They don't even describe them. They just say two, because when it comes to us, they like to say two black males or whatever. And they are throwing things and hitting our car. Not we're under attack. We need backup. Red alert. Emergency, code red. The usual stuff they do with us. We didn't even get your hands up from them. No pulling out of the gun. No getting a taser. None of that. They let these palm-colored males, walk up to their vehicle and hit it multiple times for over a minute. Now, of course, I'm sure there's probably more video, but you know what? We don't need to see anything else. This is all we needed to see right here. But they love to tell us that we need to comply. We need not resist. See, even when these cops are under attack by their own, they're still on code. Because they don't see Billy and Jesse and Josh and Brad and Chuck and whoever else as a threat, even though in this moment they were a threat. But notice, not one time did those cops say I feared for my life. Not one goddamn time. Like I said, they were so calm when they were calling for backup. So calm. Us, we could just be walking down the street minding our business and they'll become so aggressive. That's why many black people in America cannot take not only the police seriously or their sympathizers seriously. Because they have all this smoke for us and we won't even do an ounce of this, but here they are, here they go. And also look at how these guys are dressed. They have their, okay, sure, they have their faces covered, but look at how they're covered. Many should stereotype them as potential rioters, but they won't even do that. And in a lacrosse stick, something just tells me they come from a privileged background, because lacrosse is what many would consider to be a rather rich person sport, especially a rich white person sport. Like, when's the last time you saw a black person play lacrosse? Let's just be real here. When's the last time you seen an HBCU have a lacrosse program? Most lacrosse programs are at PWIs, especially if you go to an Ivy League school like your Harvards, your Browns, Yale, Rutgers, those schools like that. But this is another example of PC privilege in the flesh. When they go against their own, they just let it slide. They probably don't even know these guys' names because their faces are covered, so you can't really identify them. They actually sat there and recorded this and let them just go ham on their vehicle and didn't do shit. Sat there. But when it comes to us, we could just be walking past their vehicle, and if we just kind of look at it and what they deem to be something wrong, then they're ready to pounce and attack like a lion to a gazelle. That's why no one in this world, especially in this land mass we live in known as the US, can tell me that we are in two different worlds and it is a very us versus them society. And the crazy thing is, there are more videos out here that are worse than this, because you actually have videos we have white people getting into physical confrontations with white cops and they don't do shit. They actually then are in true the moment when they should be in fear of their lives, they don't call it. I can't remember the last time I have heard a PC cop say they were in fear of their lives against another PC person, whether it be a man or a woman. Hell, a white child, because they've done it with black kids. But I'm not surprised by this, but I also feel absolutely nothing at the same time. But again, I am proud and I'm glad, because this is more evidence to show you how they treat them, versus how we get treated by them. And we don't even do half the shit they do. Not even 1 ounce of what they do. Like, they allowed them to walk up to the vehicle, at which point they should have got out of their car and had their guns drawn. But no, sat there, let the guy hit on the car with the lacrosse stick. Then another guy came, picked up a rock, and then threw it at the windshield and cracked it. That's damage to property. Now, I bet you they ain't got to pay for it. Then you had the other guy, and here's the thing. They came up with non-projectile weapons with the exception of that rock. They have a whole gun and taser that they could have used, but did not use it. They sat there and let them attack their vehicle. I bet you if they was able to get that car door open or break that glass, they would have let them snatch them out of their vehicle and beat their ass, at which point I probably would have laughed. It's amazing. They become such weak and mild little creatures when it comes to dealing with them, but they become these beastly savages when it comes to dealing with us. And we don't even scratch the surface of what they did. But they'll put in their hands on us, get all aggressive with us, and then say stop resisting. While they got our arms so pressed behind our back that is damn near broken. How are we not supposed to resist that kind of pain? Oh, I forgot. Black people in their eyes don't feel any pain. Like I said, I do not feel bad for them at all. If that glass was to break, oh well, and they was able to get in, hey, it is what it is. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments.